Hi everyone, welcome back to my garden. In today's video, I'm going to walk you around my backyard and show you what's going on in November. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Liz and I garden in California Zone 9B. And right now it's raining. It's our first fall rain of the year. So refreshing. And look at my chrysanthemums are blooming. Don't the yellow flowers look so pretty against that turquoise bench? So the funny thing is a lot of people think that bench is a large size, but as you can see, it's kind of a miniature, and that's my granddaughter Zayla standing in front of it. She loves Grandma's garden. She loves the chickens too, and she really wants to go in the coop, but it's kind of muddy. And where Zayla is right now is my narrow space vegetable garden, and you can kind of tell it's done for the year. There's a few little things left, including some okra. It's called okra. See those long things? Yeah. And then behind Zayla is some lunchbox orange peppers. And little Abby, of course. I have some chives and just a few things, but for the most part, the narrow space vegetable garden is kind of done. But this rain, this rain is so good for my compost over there, so I'm not complaining. So when Grandma puts food scraps in there, the worms eat it and it just turns to dirt and soil, so it's really good for the garden. Those are little lunchbox orange peppers. So over here, as you can see, my Vinka is still putting on a show. I really think God blessed me this year. I've never had such great success with Vinka as I did this year. Oh, you picked one. You can try eating it. You can try it. I mean, the only way you're going to know is if you try, right? So my Vinka is doing really good. I'm waiting for the garden centers to start selling those ornamental cabbage and kale, because I usually put those in right there. What's that, honey? Yeah, more Vinka over there. And there's more Vinka over here.
Over there, over here.
And Zayla, what do you think about Grandma's little chair? As you can see, I'm experimenting with different colors. Do you like the blue, the purple? You like all of the colors? So what color should Grandma paint that?
Like rainbow.
Rainbow? Oh, that's a good idea. Over here is my Proven Winners Super Tunia Vista Bubblegum. And I wasn't really thrilled with that this year. As I said, I like the wave petunias better. But I don't know, it's starting to flower out a little bit better now that the weather has cooled down. So I'm not going to rule this one out. My lantana in the center now has room to grow because I pulled the marigolds. My tropical milkweed is still making flowers. I love that, but I don't think it's going to last much longer as soon as the weather gets cold. But we will see. I don't always know everything in the garden, and I definitely make a lot of mistakes and learn a lot of things as well. Oh, oh, you picked another pepper, but you didn't eat the first one. That's okay. You dropped it. Grandmas never say no, and they never get mad at their grandkids. Some beautiful marigolds over here, dahlias. Another sweet potato vine over there. Isn't that chartreuse green just so beautiful? And look at you, I can't believe this, but I have a Mexican flower, a tithonia, a Mexican sunflower. And over here, hold on sweetie, is my bougainvillea. It's called the Elizabeth. It's one of the hardest colors to find. Yeah, you can be in Grandma's video. We just have to see your pretty smiling face. There we go. Zayla loves Grandma's garden, and she obviously wants to be in all the videos this morning. I think she's showing off a little bit. And my yucca, because the heat wave got so bad, I decided to plant things that could tolerate the California heat wave. You gonna put your pepper in your pocket? Okay, that's very good, Zayla. So behind Zayla is some marigolds, and Zayla was just telling me that she planted some marigold seeds at school and she grew marigolds. Aren't they just so pretty? I did get rid of my big pineapple sage. Zayla and I used to enjoy that because we would pick it and eat it, but it got so out of hand, so I did replace it with a little miniature rose. And we have some snapdragons. Some nasturtium is coming back. They sure do love the cooler weather.
I never seen
And my verbena. This is the third time this is growing. I keep cutting it back and it keeps popping up. I just basically can't get rid of it. But I think it's so whimsical and beautiful. Now, if you'll notice over here, I used to have a Veggiega raised metal box. I moved that out to the front of my house, and I'll show you that in just a second. And the reason is because I like to transplant and garden here, and this raised box was really getting in my way. So I decided to remove it so I have better access to my propagation station. And I just love all my little succulents and cactuses. They do so good in the Central Valley of California because it gets so hot out here. And that's the one thing that loves the heat. So I try not to fight with my weather and grow things that don't work. I've pretty much gave up on hydrangeas. I've tried and tried and tried, and hydrangeas just don't work for me. So instead of fighting it and being disappointed, I decided to plant things that grow well in my garden zone. And I get all of my little birdhouses at the thrift stores. I leave everything out in the weather, and eventually they get worn down and they break. So that's why I don't buy anything expensive. I don't mind spending $1 or $2 for a birdhouse. And then if it breaks down or gets replaced, it's quite all right because there wasn't really anything invested in it. Here's a little backside view of the Gara. And would you believe this? Crazy California, I am growing another sunflower. Totally unexpected. I think I'm going to get rid of this geranium, and that's going to be done pretty soon. And I used to have a sedum autumn joy. I think I'm going to put miniature roses in all of the tires because they'll look good all season long. I like geraniums when they flower, but they're definitely not my favorite, so I'll probably move this somewhere. Have a little salvia and a marigold behind that, and the sunflower, of course, and some more snapdragons. There's just so many different ways to explore my garden. It's kind of hard to decide which way I'm going to go first. And a backside view of the marigolds and a little petunia of some kind. Nasturtium is popping up again. And I told you all about my passion vine. It just completely died because I overwatered it. Zaylee used to think that it looked like a dinosaur or a dragon. Did you call it a dragon? Yeah, she used to think it looked like a dragon. But Grandma watered it too much and the roots just rotted. So I am going to replace that with something. I'm not sure if it's going to be an Eden climbing rose or another bougainvillea, maybe a pink one. I don't know. But I appreciate all of the suggestions from all of my viewers. Thank you so much. And I just love my little, is it called a dicanthera or dianthera Silver Falls? I just started this in a little pot and it's loving this corner. This is one of the reasons why I love growing things in pots, because you can move them around your garden. If they do bad in one spot, you just move it and try it somewhere else. So I'm definitely a big fan of growing things in pots. The Gar was definitely one of my favorites this year as well. I love whimsical plants in my garden. And there is Cookie. Hi, Cookie. Aww. Little bottle tree with an old vintage lawnmower. Here's some more plants that I'm growing in these pots. I just painted those myself. Some little succulents with a creeping jenny and some type of a wild orchid as my thriller. A little backside view of my garden. What do you see?
Nothing.
Oh.
It stopped raining now.
Yes, it stopped raining. So yeah, I definitely think the miniature roses are going to look good on those tires. And my water fountain garden. I know a lot of people don't like morning glories, but I think it was one of the best things I ever grew for this area. I just love the way they got all the way to the top of that arbor. It only took a few weeks, so that was definitely a fun thing I grew this year. And it's still blooming. There's, I don't know, maybe 12 different plants, all different colors. I love it. And because the sun's not out, the fountain is not working at the moment. Now let me show you something else. Here is where my other Veggiega raised metal box used to be. Now I have an empty space. I think I'm going to put a green Japanese maple tree here and then a couple more doors. But let me show you where I put those raised boxes. Let's take a walk out here in front. Yep, I put them out in front. I was going to put them on my front lawn, but I decided to put them over here instead. Ta-da! I really like the way they look against that fence. They look neat and tidy. I've always wanted to grow something up there along the fence, but the dirt below is just terrible. So I really like the way these look. Plus this area gets full sun. I don't get a lot of full sun in my garden, so I just figured this would be a great place to put them. And if you notice, I did put chicken wire in there. That's just so the cats can't use them as litter boxes. And then when I plant things, I'll cut the wire so the plant can be planted. You know what I'm talking about. You know what I mean. I don't always explain things well. So tell me what you think if you like this new spot. Do you like them here, Zayla? Yeah? Yeah, they're Zayla approved, so we're doing good so far. This is the front of my house. I'm growing 2 star jasmines up the trellis. And I have another trellis over there where I'm growing my Eden climbing rose. My Eden climbing rose are now 9 months old, and as you can see, they're growing nicely. I am going to do an Eden climbing rose update, but since I'm out front, I figured I'd show you how they're looking right now. I expect to get blooms in the spring, but nevertheless, here's my 2 Eden climbing roses getting nice and tall. And back to the backyard garden tour. I'm just loving my creeping Jenny. You know, I only started out with 1 creeping Jenny plant and I just kept propagating it. And I made more creeping Jenny everywhere. And my sweet Tommy boy, for those of you who have been watching my videos, you know in the summertime he was super sick. And I honestly didn't think he was going to make it. But look at him now. Hi, Tommy. Oh, it's a good boy, huh? Yeah. So although we're now in November, I would say my garden still has a lot to see, and there is still always something new going on. Because seasons come and seasons go, a garden never looks the same, and I guess, well, that's what makes gardening fun and interesting and hopeful. Thank you so much for watching my video. We hope you have a beautiful day in your garden too. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Good job, Zayla.